everyone. Today we will be changing some drum heads. Let's go. So, as I've told you before, drums is my main instrument, and I've played drums for going on 23 years, maybe 22 years-ish, professionally, touring, sessions, you name it. Good drum sounds are very important to me live, but especially in my industry, in the studio industry, recording industry. This is my personal kit. It's DW Collectors from 2001. And I love it. And let's dive into changing some drum heads. Alright, so this box has seen better days. My awesome guys over at Sweetwater sent some Remo heads over to me. Thank you. Sandy. Alright, so I have used Remo drum heads for many years. I have used other manufacturers' drum heads, but for me, Remo makes the most sense. I like the feel, the tone, the sound, and I believe that in learning how to tune drum heads, these are the truest types of heads, and they really lend you the best tonal characteristics. But that's just my opinion, and these are just my drums, so you use whatever drum heads you would like. But I like Remo, and today we're going to be changing my Black Beauty 14 by 6.5, just the top, with a Remo controlled sound, which is what I currently have on here. We'll just be swapping that. On the bass drum, we'll just be putting the batter head, which is a Power Stroke 4. I've never actually used Power Stroke 4. Typically use Power Stroke 3 clear or Power Stroke 3 coated or the P3 with the black dot, but we're going to go clear Power Stroke 4. And on all the toms, we will be taking off. I have an Ambassador coated on the 10 and 12 right now, and on 13, 14, and 16 I have Emperor coated, but we will be putting the controlled sound black dot on all tops and on all bottoms. And the bottom heads on these have been on here for, I'd say, about 6 months, maybe 4 months, so time to swap them out. Unfortunately, the 16-inch heads were back ordered, so I won't be changing the 16s today. Pro tip, get a drum key drill bit and a drill. Makes your life a lot easier, especially when you're changing this many drum heads. So let's get to it. Pro tip number 2, grab a guitar stand so you can hang the hoops on them. Alright, so I do one little thing that I was taught years ago with coated heads. Might apply for clear heads as well, Remo specifically. I break the collar around the head, and this just lets it break in and sit even better. Many people have many different approaches when changing drum heads. When I'm doing the whole kit, basically what I'll do is tighten everything down a little tighter than normal and let it sit, move on to the next drum, so on and so forth. Once I'm done just putting all the heads on, I'll come back and then do the tuning and the specifics on it. Cool? Also, with the drill, I put it on the lowest tension setting. It's a little scary, but as soon as you hear it make its funny noise, that's enough tension. And this is just for putting the head on initially. It's definitely tighter than I would typically use in tuning, as far as tuning goes. Unless I'm doing something, a different genre that needs a tighter snare sound. So, and we'll move on. Also, be nice to your drums. Get a little Swiffer thingy, Swiffer duster. And just dust out the inside. Little towel. Just clean the edge of the shell. Bada bing. DW Collectors, June 12th, 2001. It's crazy. I love these drums. All maple, re-rings inside. And this one is made to be tuned, it's calibrated, or whatever word you like to use, to the key of D, as in dog. I'm actually going to just take all the heads off first and then go through all of them. It'd be great. In case you're wondering, what kind of paint job is that? Or is that a wrap? This is paint. It's amazing. This is not a finished ply, this is not a wrap. So, or finished ply, maybe finished ply, I don't know. Sorry, DW. This is a gold sparkle. That's what it would technically be called, with rainbow chip glitter. And I hate glitter, like literally, but these look beautiful. And maybe you can tell in different lighting, it shines differently. Coffee break. So you may be asking, why is he using clear heads? He was using coated heads before. Yes, I love the warmth of a coated head. It's cool. I find myself more times than not in engineering and mixing the drums specifically. I find myself adding more top end and EQ a little bit. So the clear heads give you more attack naturally. So attack is treble, high end. So, you know, why not shoot for the clear heads? So I predominantly use the Black Beauty for a lot of things. It's just a great workhorse. It just does a lot for me. This is a 1968 Acrolite, and it's interesting because these were traditionally student drums, and they still are. But the 60s Acrolites are something special. I actually have a different head on this one right now. It's an Emperor Vintage coated, and it's great. A little bit of a thicker head for a lighter, thinner shell, since this is aluminium, but I love it. And I've got a crazy 42 strand on the bottom, as well as the Ambassador snare side clear. So the 42 strand gives me a lot of sensitivity. It's really great. This is an amazing snare too. Lots of crack, lots of air. If those words resonate with you, get it? Resonate. But yeah, I use this a lot live. When I'm flying somewhere, I typically take this because it's just so light. It's great. This is a special snare to me. It matches the drum set, same paint. They were all made together. And in 2001, this is when Johnny Craviotto was making snare drums with DW. So this is a DW Gold Badge Craviotto series snare, 14 by 5.5, and got a Super 30 on the bottom of this one. But you can see on the inside right here, Johnny signed it. Johnny passed away just a couple years ago, and I'm honored to have one of his drums that he handmade. And if you don't know about Craviotto drums, please check them out. They are beautiful, handcrafted, and they use all one-ply steam-bent shells. This is maple, and it is a thick one-ply. It's nuts. So this is a special one. I love it. It is loud and proud, and it can do anything. You know, maple is such an even wood for drums, so I can tune this lower if I need to. I can crank it, get a nice poppy sound out of it. It's beautiful. It's awesome. And I failed to mention, yes, there was also an Emperor coated, a vintage coated on the Craviotto DW snare. Alright, back to it. Alright, so all the drums have sat for a little bit. I'm going to do one more thing before I loosen them and then go into tuning. So I'm going to put some pressure on the middle of the drum head to just break it in even more. Anyways, so I'm just going to put a towel over the top, and all I'm going to do is just put my knee into the middle, and I'm just going to move around a little. You might hear a few more cracks on the collar, but this is just breaking the head in even more, just getting it warmed up. Do this for about 60 seconds on each drum. make sure they are all at what I feel would be even tension. This is where it all transfers to just feel. Sometimes that takes time to kind of be able to feel where the tension is for everything. Alright, we're still pretty loose. So I'm gonna go half turn on everything. So now I'm just going to place my finger in the middle and tap around each tension rod. And what I want to do is get even pitch around the whole drum. Not bad. So I'll do this to all the rest of the drums, and I will change the kick batter head as well, the bass drum batter head. And then I'll do some fine tuning on the kit when we get back in there, when they're all set up. Also, I do still tension the bottom head just a little tighter than the top. That's a traditional tuning technique, and it's pretty proven, so that's what I do. Let's tune these puppies up. Thanks for watching.